Previously here on History Hikes, we looked at Lowestoft Town's magnificent fishing history and the herring trade. We then moved on to the massive plaque wheel marking the most easterly point in Britain that Lowestoft proudly owns. Then we looked at the strategic port of Lowestoft. In World War II in the 1940s, the Navy had a strategic base here and it was heavily attacked by the Germans. To History Hikes. I'm Dale, born in the 80s and a history nerd. I had this idea. Why not create videos combining history and outdoor adventure through hiking and camping, leaving technology behind to enjoy the scenery and, if I'm honest, to get more steps in. I roped in my son Parker, initially to get him outside, but soon realised he can get in all the tight spaces. Well, I can't. Oh, and this is my childhood friend, David. He is the adventurous, brave one. Together, we will seek adventure and history from ancient churches to wartime relics and old graves, even Roman walls and towns. Join Dale and friends as we explore our world and our past, leaving technology behind. This is History Hikes. As we leave the historic town of Lowestoft, the war-stricken beaches, we now enter Pakefield, a district of Lowestoft, the Jurassic coast. At this point, I just wanted to highlight that the Jurassic period was 145 million years ago, so please don't take it literally. As we approach Pakefield, the landscape completely changes. The cliffs full of erosion and a double church that we're about to show you. Double church, you say? Well, yes, it's a unique church indeed. Some say, depending on whose article you read, the church is probably from the 10th century. Speculation exists over why the churches were built side by side, but the most common theory is that two lords that had authority over Pakefield both wanted their churches built over the sarsen stone to the west of their church, and decided that the two churches would be built side by side and they would share the sarsen stone. The holy stone ended up creating the double church of Pakefield. Rumour has it that there was a place of worship here way before the 11th century, even as far back as Roman times some 1600 years ago. But in the 10th century, a permanent church was built here. A telltale sign of this is the masonry at the base of the tower, dating back to the Saxon period.
Well, Dale, you've obviously heard of the band The Darkness. They're a famous band who's from Lowestoft, and they sang a song, "This Town Ain't Big Enough for the Both of Us." Well, on that theme, we have a double church with two contestant people who both wanted a church on the same spot for reasons which Dale will go into. The compromise was a church split down the middle, one each. A compromise rare for its time. Instead of war, they have peaceful resolution. As I've already said in the video, the sarsen stone is at the west end of the church, which is the reason that these two churches wanted to be built side by side to share that sarsen stone from the 10th century. So let's take you around. This is the east side. Let's take you down to the west side. And as we always do, Parker, we're going to find the oldest grave in the graveyard, aren't we? Right, so this is the bit you've both been waiting for. Find me the oldest grave in the graveyard. 1710 to beat. Ready? Go. What is the church called, I hear you asked? Well, the church is called All Saints and St Margaret's Church because of the two dividing churches that were joined up in 1748. The wall was eventually knocked down and the church became one with one vicar instead of the two that they had always had. So that is the history of the church. 10th century, sarsen stone at the west end. I mean, I'm just at the entrance here. Now you can see how old it is.
Let me just show you. Now obviously the tower has been added on a bit later on, perhaps 12th century tower. But it's a very unique church. You or Parker got the oldest grave then, David?
Parker's got it today.
Parker's got it today. Well, don't give it away.
I got it last time, Parker's got it today. So
Don't give it away.
Hand over to the man himself.
Here he is laying in the pathway. He seems to think he's beat 1710.
1708.
So here we have a grave. Can we read this?
Well, you can clearly see it says 1708.
So we've got 1708 is the death date. But what was the gentleman's or woman's name, Parker?
Edward.
Edward.
Edward Lanny. Larry.
Or was it
Oh, no,
daughter
no,
of?
No, no.
Oh.
The body of the daughter
Daughter.
of Tho Edwards.
Bo Edwards, yeah.
So Tho Edwards was the father.
And Mary, his wife, who died 1708, aged, that looks like a 7 there, but it's mostly
7.
gone.
Age 7, probably
70s.
probably a bit older than that. Yeah, we can't see the name of the person, but 1708 is now the official record. Well done, Parker.
Thank you.
Just spotted something, ladies and gents. This old house over here, no mistaking that, 1828. And that is made of old glass bottles, that date. It was probably put in, as you can see with the masonry work, it was put in at a later date, but 1828 is probably the age of all these houses along this row near the church. As we left the church in the direction of Kessingland, one thing we did notice was the fact that Lowestoft had lots of small businesses that offered various services. Here we have a lovely and what seemed a popular coffee stop called Dean's Beans, offering coffee and milkshakes, amongst other drinks and food. We also came across Salty Sauna, rather amazingly a sauna on the cliff. It was at this point we hit the Jurassic coastline of Pakefield, marked with an information board dating back some 700,000 years. But before we could do any of that and carry on our journey, we stopped for a drink while young Parker was picked up, having completed as much of the hike on his small legs as he could possibly manage. Right, David, while we take a little rest here, just wanted to show you some more artefacts and what I've found on the beach over the years. All war related, by the way. So we're going to start off with some bullets. So these are all bullets that I've found. Like I say,
Yeah.
They weren't fired in jest. They were obviously fired as part of their training.
Yeah.
So these are 301s. Not sure what that is. It's obviously a higher caliber.
Massive.
But there you go. So there's remnants of war on the beach. Now this is a really nice find.
You don't want that in you, would you?
No. So this is a really nice find. This is a lighter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Found this on the beach. This is a lighter from World War II, 1940s. And I think this is a proper one. But what they used to do abroad when they were fighting in the trenches, they used to take a bullet like this, and they used to make a lighter out of a bullet. It's called trench art.
Oh, right.
So there you go.
Cool.
So that's them two.
Very nice.
You've already seen the spoon, so I won't get that out again. Right, this little plaque is basically a plaque from World War II, World War I. And that, yeah, no, that was on the crates for the bullets. So that was like a little plaque on the bullet boxes.
Oh yeah.
Quite interesting.
Brick painting.
I have saved the best till last, though, mate. You'll be shocked. And I did find these on the beach.
Is it a Luger?
It's not a Luger. These.
Oh, look at that.
These are original. Be careful with them. These are original goggles. Flying or motorcycle goggles.
Yeah, look at them.
They were buried deep in the sand.
You even got one of the lenses in there still.
One of the lenses, it's called a split lens.
Yeah.
Just put it to your face, look. Put it up to your face. Get in the centre shot, look. There you go. That's my best World War find
Yeah, cool.
that I've ever had. You got to be careful because the leather is all quite hard now. It's not soft, so
Yeah.
So there you go, ladies and
Very
gents. Thought I'd bring them along with me today. War boy walk. Welcome to the Jurassic coast of Pakefield, ladies and gents. Now, as you can see from this weathered cliff, the reason it's a Jurassic coastline is because of the weathering on this cliff, and cliff that goes all the way down to Kessingland, where we'll end up today. But what we've found in these cliffs are prehistoric, bone, flint work, Roman pottery, even medieval artifacts, and maybe some coins. Definitely some Roman coins have come out of these cliffs. We can date Pakefield by the erosion, and from the finds of the erosion back 700,000 years. What do you think about that, David?
A long time now.
700,000 years of history.
As old as you.
Coming out, nearly as old as me, he said. Coming out of these cliffs. So we'll keep our eyes out as we walk along the cliff, at the bottom of the cliff, for any artifacts.
Yeah, we're going to have to go on a little bit of a hop around the water now.
Oh no, right, okay. Let's have a look what we've got to navigate over here. As you can see, the water comes up fairly high, and these rocks have been put in place to protect more erosion at Pakefield. But I think it's inevitable that more and more of these cliffs will fall as the years roll on. Right, can we get around there? What you find?
Sea glass.
Sea glass. David is an avid sea glass collector. When he eventually gets a girlfriend, he will make them some jewellery. Well, you know the Romans used sea glass to make jewellery?
Is that Julius Caesar? Julius Seaglass, isn't it?
Julius Sea glass.
That was
Kids,
close call.
kids, don't try this at home. It's literally for the video. And we're over. The Jurassic coastline spans for at least a mile to Kessingland, which will be our final destination. It's a shame that we're losing so much land to the sea. Just up the road in Dunwich, we lost the whole of Dunwich into the water. So, ladies and gents, we're just at the base of the cliff, and you can see the layers of sediment in the cliff. So you've got a layer here, and then you've got another layer here. Now, obviously, I'm no expert, but this could be millions of years old. And to really make things exciting, David has just spotted something, haven't you, David?
Yep. Up there, look.
He's actually spotted a coin.
Now, this has not been planted.
It hasn't.
I promise we have just spotted that.
We've just spotted the coin.
We're going to work on getting it down.
So I'm going to take a video of you. I would probably go up there. Now, you're not meant to climb on cliffs, but because there's a coin up there, we're going to rescue this coin.
It could be that it's modern and someone's just chucked it up there, but it looks like it's been up there a while. So if you go up there, David, just be careful not to slide all the sediment. It looks like a copper halfpenny to me. If you can see that, ladies and gents, just there in shot. It's just there.
Here it is.
So what is that? Is that like a Georgian or is it more modern, Elizabeth?
That's an old 5p, Dale.
Oh, so it's just an old 5p. So it's only Elizabeth II, 1960s, 1970s.
Working on it.
What's the date on that one?
The back is a bit too damaged to tell, I'm afraid.
Yeah, it's probably 1970s. So
Yeah.
literally, ladies and gents, that's just laying on the cliff face. We'll get a close-up of it in a sec, but the Roman coins have fell out of the cliff, like I said. Prehistoric flint and bone, you know, dating back 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,000, 70,000 years. So
Actually, Dale, is 700,000 years.
just by this section over here. But yeah, to make the video exciting, that coin, literally, David spotted it about 10 foot up the cliff. Just gonna have a look at it now. Like I say, it's not ancient.
The tail side's in nice condition, but the head, unfortunately, is not.
So you can see it's been in the ground by the patina.
I've got a couple more of them at home. I've found other places.
But yeah, it's not in the best condition, but yeah, that's
That's a nice find.
probably
Impromptu.
50 years old, that, so well done.
Yeah, it's a nice little random find.
So if you are planning on doing a history hike, or just a hike along cliffs such as this, please bear in mind your safety, because up there you've got 5 ton of concrete ready to come crashing down. It's like a base for a caravan, which is so close to the edge, it's ready to come down. And if you're under that, when that does come down, ladies and gents, you're in trouble. We're keeping a close eye on it anyway.
That'll be your bones they find in 100 years.
Yeah, it'll be our bones, not dinosaur bones that come out of this cliff. So yeah, just be careful.
Part of an old chimney.
No, it's part of a pipe. It's a salt glazed pipe.
Salt glazed
So
pipe.
it's not terribly old, but yeah, it's part of the sewage system that's come off the cliff from that caravan park. Ladies and gents, we've just pitched up for a bit of lunch today. I've got some couscous, so all we're going to do, going to get the couscous open.
What flavour is it, Dale?
Mushroom,
Mushroom.
wild mushroom. Get that into the,
As opposed to what? Domesticated mushroom?
well, you know, all mushrooms grow in the wild, but just a posh name. So I've got some hot water here, ladies and gents. Just going to make my couscous with a bit of hot water. Now for a little bit of extra flavour, got a couple of frankfurters here, so we're just going to chop these into the mix. Is this something you'd eat, David?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of those sausages, but I would eat it, yeah. I like the couscous.
See what you've got in a sec.
Well, I ate my porridge earlier.
Oh, that's all right. So just give that a bit of a stir. So there we go. We're just going to put the lid on, leave that for 3 minutes while that couscous cooks. It's got some nuts, ain't you, mate?
Nuts and dates. Yeah, the only dates I get these days, Dale. Ones you can eat. And yeah, just a little ham wrap, most simple ham wrap.
Nice ham wrap and some nuts, which
Nothing
really
too
good for you.
extravagant in there.
Good for carbohydrate on long hikes like this. We've been hiking, ladies and gents. I'll show you. Been hiking for 6 hours, 32 minutes, I think that says. 20,000 steps. So we're doing well. We've probably got another 1.5 miles, 2 miles to go to get to Kessingland. and then we'll be showing you a bit of history over there. So, just got a bit of pork pie while we're waiting for the couscous. David's calling me Henry VIII. Couscous is done. Lovely bit of grub. You can add spices if you want, but I'm just going to eat it like this.
So as we began to pack up, I walked to the sea to clean my dish and spoon, ready for the final stage of the hike. Me and David were both tired at this stage, but we ploughed on.
We've just come across this, ladies and gents. It looks like an old pulley system, perhaps to pull up fishing boats to the shoreline. But it looks to have been dumped there and then the cliffs fell on top of it. So it's not obviously been there since prehistoric times, but there's an old pulley wheel in there if you can see that. So yeah, that's what I think that is. And then there's metal coming out and timber. There's a big timber up there, look, coming out of the cliffs. So there's a lot going on in this Jurassic coastline of Pakefield into Kessingland. And I have it on good authority that it's quite an archaeological site for archaeologists who study this type of history. So glad I can bring you here, to be fair. As kids, me and David used to climb these cliffs, obviously not as eroded as this, but we used to have hours of fun. I remember one time in the wet, we had 2 screwdrivers each, and we used them as cliff climbing tools. Did we, David? I was just saying about the screwdrivers. We used to use them as cliffhanger.
Yeah, do you remember we used to try and smash open the rocks, try and find geodes and stuff with a hammer and a screwdriver?
Yeah.
We used to do that,
Didn't find many of those.
one at home, a hole one though, that's not been cracked yet.
Yeah.
Gonna bring that along to Parker one day.
Oh, I'd love to find a geode. I find fossils now and again when I'm metal detecting, but never a geode that you've smashed open, and it's a nice little snail type thing, isn't it?
I've got an unopened one.
An unopened one.
Yeah, it's going to give it to you to give to Parker.
We've just walked about a mile down towards Kessingland, and we know at the top of these cliffs, as in fact I can see part of a bunker up there, there is a lookout post. And we believe that soldiers were stationed here, not just for training. We believe they were stationed here and they were living here, ready for any action they might encounter in World War II. So we're going to go up these cliffs and we're going to bring you what we can see. Right, David?
You want history hikes? We're going to take you underground today. We're going to dig deep into the World War II bunkers because rumour has it there is a shaft leading to an underground section. So stay tuned for that.
Well, we're here at the right time because that is going to come off the cliff very soon.
The last thing I needed at this stage was a full 3 flights of steps.
Site of scientific special interest. Lovely. The shaft. We've got to find the shaft.
There's a hatch in Lost.
Oh, the hatch. Yeah.
We got the torch at the last episode of season 1.
Well, we can see visually a bunker there.
That's the old toilet block, that one down. That one, the toilet block.
Well, let's have a look.
The bib.
Right, so we've got first bunker. It's a bit of a tight squeeze down here. Quite dark. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what this thing is in the middle. Do you know, David? If you go in my bag, there's a torch in the zip there at the top. Is this?
I imagine this is probably where they would have sat around and
It's like a little trough.
sorted out things, yeah.
But by all accounts, we were wrong. This trough-like concrete structure was apparently a surgeon's bed, and it had drainage holes on either side.
Judged by what it looks like out there, I'd say this is probably a utility area.
Utility area. I reckon they put a bomb on here and they were arming the bombs. That's just my thought. All right, let's go and explore the rest. What we got next? Oh, the big one. The scientific lab of whatever.
Hydra.
Watch the thistles. There's the thistles going on there. Here we go. Hello. So here we are, ladies and gents. We're in the graffiti capital. Oh, are we still in Pakefield here?
Yep, just about.
We're just about in Pakefield on the cusp of Kessingland.
You can see a lot of these original iron shutters are still here. You know, you think
Yeah,
how,
so they would have been like what, bulletproof?
yeah, you think how long they've been there? A long time.
Phenomenal.
Nearly
Now,
100.
where David's standing there is where I just showed you. He's nearly hanging off the cliff because
Yeah, just here.
that wall is probably got a couple of years left before it goes over the cliff.
I mean, my foot here is almost on the edge now.
Yeah, you're just lipping over. So we have to be careful here at History Heights. But we're here at the right time because it's still all here. Now, what would this have been used for, do you reckon?
There'd have been some sleeping quarters here. I think this is a big base. They would have stayed here. It would have housed quite a good squad of men, I think.
Yeah, so they would have done living quarters, or is this their like office type of bit?
I'd imagine there'd have been someone sleeping here or manning this 24 hours a day.
So it's like a signal post.
Yeah, yeah.
Now the reason we know that this is not just a training camp is because the toilet is over here. Now you don't get toilets next to pillboxes.
Not very often.
So to have a toilet is quite unique.
Well, they probably would have called it the latrine.
Latrine?
Latrine.
It's French, isn't it? So let's just take you into the toilet. David will demonstrate. So if you climb in, David.
I do actually need the toilet at the moment, Dallas. I could actually go for you.
So if you line yourself up in the cubicle, David, I'll come round the corner.
Yep.
So you're going to see what we mean, ladies and gents. David is now in the toilets.
Oh, that's some privacy in here.
So World War II, do you reckon?
Yep. World War
World
II.
War II, 1940s. A whole team stationed up here on the cliff. Is that a signal post, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah, signal post. Now we've got to find this underground tunnel.
We have. We must find it, Dale.
So we're now going to try and find a shaft. Now, we've been told it's here. We don't know where it is, so it might take a little bit of time. So
Where are we thinking?
Well, the reason David is on these expeditions is because he's the little ferret that will go and find the shaft.
Yep.
So off you go.
Yeah.
David, it's been half an hour. You found it?
No, I've been in the thick of all that, a bit cut up a bit, but
See your legs.
but there's no sign yet.
Right, okay, so what we're going to have to do, I think, we'll get the drone up, ladies and gents. We're going to have a look aerial, see if we can find the shaft, and we'll come back to you. David, starting there.
Dale's now going to send the drone up and see if we can figure out where this hatch is. I'm ready. Headlamps on. Dale can't hear me. He's now sending the drone up. I'm going to hang tight and wait for his directions and hopefully take you into a
Right,
shelter.
so we've got intel near this big bunker somewhere.
Right, Dal seems to think it's
So if
near
you
this
go
big
into the
bunker.
bush,
Right, I'm going to go in. I'm going to go in
I'll have a
under the
look
drone.
down at vertical.
Right. Dale is in control. He's above me now.
Right, David, I think I can see it.
I can hear him shouting, yep.
Go down the left side of the bunker.
Left side of the bunker, right, okay. Here we go. Ah, here we go.
Turn left at the corner.
He says turn left. If we go right, before we go right, left, I'm just going to show you the edge of the bunker, how close that really is. Look, that's nearly gone. But anyway, let's go left. Yep. It's very haphazard and thistly through here, guys. Here I go. We're right near the edge of the cliff now, look. And what we got around here, there's a little raised platform, and I think, yes, got it. Here we go, look, nestled right here in these trees. Look at this, look. Oh wow, here we go. Look at that. I'm in. Hello. Here we found it. We have liftoff. Right, I'm going to stick my head torch on, and I'm going to just swing my legs over the edge here. Then I'm going to take us down here. Dale's shouting at me to go down. He needs to be patient. Right, here we go then. I'm about to go in the hatch, as you can see. I'm partially submerged. Right, bearing in mind I've only got one hand here. Bear with me. Here we go. Stay with me, guys. Right, if we go here, can you see that? There is several rungs missing, so I'm just going to very gently lean against the wall just to give me some balance. I am down. Yeah, this is about the size of a small bedroom, I'd say, and it's about 2 foot deep, full of water, so I can't go in any further than the base of the hatch, but it's pretty cool. It's full of rubbish. You can just see up there with my lights on, there is a little porthole there, and I can see, you probably won't be able to see as detailed as I can, but there's a crabbing line in there, and lots of cans and stuff, so there must be somewhere up top a little hole which people have been chucking things down over the years, and it's coming down here, so I might try and find that when I go back. Here is some kind of pulley, some kind of winch there. That, I think, and I'm hazarding a guess here, would be perhaps to draw water down from the top for the people who are down here. And you've got a little inlet here. That's just a little cubby hole, it doesn't go any higher, there's a little roof there. But yeah, that's good. Right, that's a view of the hatch up to the top. It's pretty cool. View of me at the bottom. Hanging in there, looking tired. It's been a long walk. Right, I'm going to head back up again then. Lights going off. I think. Yep, we're off. And let's go back up again. See if we can find that little hole I mentioned before, where someone's been chucking the rubbish down over the years. Right, bear with me, guys. 42, still got it. Still climbing trees, still going down holes. Don't let anyone ever tell you you're too old to have fun, kids, because you're not. Get out there. This is what it's all about. Getting outside and finding things to do. Right. Here we go. What's this? Look, here we go. This. Now, I'm not sure how much you can see, so I'm going to try and clear it a bit. But there we go. There is the hole. where I imagine the things are being chucked down. And there's some kind of capped off valve on the side there, where maybe water was being put down. So yeah, there we go. We found it, we've explored it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll tell you an interesting story about Dale. Not always the amiable character he portrays on camera. Because years ago, there used to be more bunkers here, and they used to link underground. And one day, Dale and co decided to trap me in the underground bunker, which was quite terrifying at the time, and he made me cry. But he won't tell you that, but I will. Anyway, I'm going to take you back to Dale now. That's our secret though.
Did you get the footage?
Yep, all the footage, Dale.
So David's caught all the footage of these bunkers and this lookout post from the 1940s. And we move on all the way to Kessingland now.
Come join Dale on history hikes through UK beaches and countryside. Meet childhood friend David and Dale's son Parker as we hike, camp and search for signs of the past. See adventures through our eyes and lead that.
This gate may lead to unknown lands, but I think there's a farm up there. And this is the farmer's gate. There's steps coming down and it says private, no access to the public. So yeah, nice little gate, private gate onto the beach of Kessingland. Now the landscape has changed dramatically as we approach Kessingland. As you can see, I'm walking through gorse, which is dry. Pardon? Marrow grass. Marram. Marram grass. I'm walking through marram grass. It's as dry as a bone. The sea has never come up here in the last 20, 30 years, I'd say. But as you can see, we've got relics of how high the tide used to come up back in the day. I mean, is this a groin?
Yeah, it would have been, yeah, but as I say, 20, 30 years before the tide used to regularly come here, but in about, I think it's 2010, we had the tidal surge, didn't we? And that one time it came all the way up, and parts of Lowestoft flooded, but apart from that one anomaly, that hasn't been up here for decades, really.
So around 2010, tidal surge came 300 metres from that direction and met the cliff, which would have caused catastrophic decline in the cliff. And that is why Kessingland is a Jurassic beach, which is important for the archaeologists who study prehistoric history.
And just like that, we hit the solid concrete of Kessingland. We had about half a mile to go. David was lagging behind, and he'll never live it down.
So as we leave Kessingland Beach, you may have remembered about me and David going up and down cliffs with screwdrivers in hand, pretending we were cliffhanger. Well, won't be happening anymore, because this is the exact cliff that we used to do this on. Now heavily overgrown, 25 years later or so. Do you reckon it's 25 years? I've gone down, first accident of the day. Oh, yeah, 8 hours in, and I've missed the step, which was, to be fair, a double. There's a step missing here. Oh, right.
You'll be pleased to know, ladies and gents, that they've now replaced the steps at Kessingland.
Now you may be interested to know, now we're in the depths of Kessingland, off the Jurassic coastline, that we're now coming up to Rider Haggard Lane. Now Rider Haggard was an author. In the 1880s,
Yep.
he came back to live and visit fairly regularly Kessingland. Whether he lived here or not, I'm not sure, but it says he does.
Conflicting stories. Some say he visited, some say he lived here in the late 1880s, but yeah, it's definitely linked to the area.
And who did he come here with?
Rudyard Kipling.
Rudyard Kipling. Now David knows the two main novels that Ryder Haggard wrote.
Yep. King Solomon's Mines, he was famous for. And then he wrote She in the 1860s, and that sold, well,
That was a bestseller.
it's one of the best-selling books of all time.
She, A History of Adventure. This sums up the History Hikes channel very, very well, and they even named a road after him.
Now, Rudyard Kipling used to come and visit Ryder Haggard. So what have we got here?
Kipling Close, where I used to live.
We've got a Kipling Close in Kessingland. Kessingland, the most historic village.
I also found out that Mr. Kipling was an avid coin collector.
That's Kipling Close there, and that's where I used to live.
So David used to live down that road, Kipling Close.
And down here, on Kipling Close, on Ryder Haggard, sorry.
On Ryder Haggard.
There's community gardens now, but there used to be a little school there.
So we've got a nice community garden in Ryder Haggard Lane. I'm sure as an author, Ryder Haggard would have been appreciative of the natural beauty that is now there. We'll now approach it, we'll show you. I think the bees are the main...
They're gone.
They're gone, are they?
Yeah, the bees been taken out, I'm afraid.
What was that?
They were swarming.
So the bees were swarming. So we've now got a natural habitat for non-bees.
Non-bee.
Beetles.
Let's have a look
Flies.
because I think they've put a couple of little mini ponds in there since I was last there, and there's a seed exchange.
Okay.
I mean,
So, ladies and gents, hope you enjoyed the history hike from Corton all the way to Kessingland, and this is our final destination. Communal garden that people and wildlife can enjoy.
it was a school before, as I said, and it was a play park. Some of the old play parks still exist. You can see just inside that seat.
Yeah, I remember playing football with the swings and...
Play football against that garage, and the swings over there, which the frame is still there. And here's the talking bench, and here's
Oh, there's the old swings that I used to play on, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad use of space. I'm surprised they haven't built on it, to be fair.
So I hope you've enjoyed the history hike. Me and David took you back to our childhood memories, exploring and re-exploring places that we'd already known about before, and some that we hadn't known about, like the shaft. So I hope you've enjoyed it. We've got a lot of exercise in. We got parker out for a little while, and we thoroughly had a lot of fun. So while we're in this wildlife conservation area, which used to be a park where I used to play a lot of football and had a bit of cricket as well, I hope you had fun. So please subscribe to our channel. It's a new channel, but we are really enjoying bringing you all the
27,000 steps,
history on our hiking
8 hours
adventures.
and 23 minutes. So the exercise is there. We got Parker out for most of the day and just enjoyed ourselves, didn't we, David?
Yep, been good.
So we've got love for people who were born in the 80s.
Yep, been good to reconnect with some of our childhood memories as well.
Right, so bear with us. The next video will be up on the channel very soon, but we've got a schedule for this year, and we're gonna go through that schedule, and we're gonna get camping involved, and we're gonna have lots of fun, lots of good food, lots of health, lots of laughs, lots of adventure, and that's what History Hike's all about. See you on the next one.
See you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in.